manage to get from their hydroponics farm first.
Got it. But I wouldn't give for Mass Effect.
Medbay, please advise of status.
Captain wants to see a full-duty roster.
I just updated the charts.
She'll want to see crew reassignments first. Start with non-essential personnel.
Okay, folks. This is what we've been waiting for. Let your teams know that docking procedures are now in effect. We've got 20,000 colonists still asleep, and we'll need somewhere to put them when the alarm clock goes off. As soon as we get clearance from the Nexus, we'll be following stasis revival protocols. We want to avoid any logjams, so it's vital your teams coordinate with each other and keep people moving. Any questions so far?
How do we handle deaths that occurred in transit?
Right. It's an unfortunate fact that not everyone will have survived the voyage. We've already got scattered reports of medical problems from that dark energy cloud we hit. If somebody didn't make it, check with the medical officer. We'll see about notifying their next of kin. I'm hoping it's a rare exception. Also, try to keep it quiet. Andromeda is all about new beginnings, not holding funerals.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of that whole, let's not talk loudly about this because this is supposed to be about this, not this.
It'll be nice to see some friendly faces this time.
The Nexus runs a support crew, just enough to finish building the station and provide safe harbor for the Arks.
Means we can start waking our people up.
They built a bar, right? Gotta have champagne for the welcome party.
You're expecting one?
After what we've been through, I could use a buzz.
We all could.
Yeah. Rough ride so far.
We'll bounce back. Real food and a shower are just ahead.
He's not going to shut up about the champagne, by the way. It's going to be a little annoying.
I don't see any champagne.
Where is
See?
everybody?
At this point, I'm just like, shut up, Liam.
Well, this can't be right.
It's like everything's on standby.
If it's a surprise party, they're doing an awfully good job of it.
We could see what the VI has to say.
Plants are still alive.
So yeah, Avina's here.
Finish building it.
If you're wondering why is Avina here, to me it makes sense that they would bring a version of Avina from the Milky Way to here.
Welcome to the Nexus, gateway to Andromeda. I'm Avina, a virtual intelligence designed to assist you with immigration.
Can you tell us where the welcome party is hiding?
I'm sorry, my code is limited to information and simple interaction simulations. Please select from the following pre-programmed responses.
That's like the 4th or 5th time he has mentioned the party or the champagne, and it just, I'm like, will you stop it? There are obviously more important things going on right now.
What is the Nexus?
The Nexus serves as the central hub for the Andromeda Initiative's colonization efforts. It is the first destination for all colonists upon their arrival in the new galaxy. Please enjoy the many venues the Nexus has to offer. As the station expands, it will one day serve as the seat of government for Milky Way colonists. Providing a safe, stable, and prosperous environment is our primary goal.
Not from the looks of it.
What year is it?
The current year is 2819. After spending over 600 years in stasis, it's normal to feel disoriented or confused upon arrival. Our helpful medical staff can assist with any physical or psychological aftereffects you may be experiencing.
Well, she's got the date right, at least.
So where is everyone? Where do colonists live?
Once you've cleared immigration, our helpful staff will assist you in choosing the home world of your dreams. Will it be the tropical paradise of Habitat 7, the gentle rolling hills of Habitat 3, or perhaps the mysterious twilight world of Habitat 5? Whichever you choose, rest assured our Pathfinders have carefully vetted all colony worlds to ensure your security and prosperity.
Oh boy. Habitat 7. That's where we landed. She's way out of date.
What can you tell me about the Andromeda galaxy?
Here in Andromeda, you are over 2 million light years away from the Milky Way galaxy. This is the furthest any life form has ever traveled outside our home system, making you a brave pioneer indeed. The Nexus itself is located in a region known as the Helios Cluster. Here, you and thousands of your fellow colonists will fulfill your dreams of settling a new home. Fortune awaits.
How does the immigration process work?
We ask that you submit to a brief medical exam to ensure your health and well-being after making such a long journey. Once you've been cleared, our colonization experts will assist you in finding your new home. Please be mindful of the queue. Thousands of eager colonists like you are waiting to begin their new life in Andromeda.
Where? Place is deserted.
That's all.
It has been my pleasure. Please see one of our helpful immigration staff for further assistance. And welcome to your new home in Andromeda, where the brightest star is you. Current wait time for immigration processing is unknown error.
Right. That was helpful.
This place should be packed with people.
There's a guy. Maybe he's got champagne.
Shut up about the champagne!
Hi there. We're from Ark Hyperion, and wondering where everybody went.
Did he hear you?
Did you say an Ark? This is the Nexus, right? Pretty sure we parked in the right place.
And for what it's worth, your VI over there could use an update.
Of course, I'm sorry. It's just, we thought you were all dead.
What?
Or captured, or lost in dark space, or... But you're here. You have no idea how much this means.
I don't believe it.
I'm Tyrion Kandros. I lead our militia on the Nexus.
I'm Scott Ryder. This is Cora Harper and Liam Costa, part of the Pathfinder team.
I'm sorry for the confusion. Our sensors told us an Ark had arrived, but Helios is notorious for scrambling equipment. We thought you were just another malfunction.
By the way, I want to share with you guys that I actually found a mod that, if you wanted, you could change Scott into a Turian. I'm not kidding. There is an actual mod that somebody made where you can actually change yourself into a Turian. So if you ever want to play a Mass Effect game as a Turian, there you go. No, I haven't tested it yet. I don't know how viable it is or how well it works. But I just wanted to share that little tidbit of info with you. I thought that was amusing. That was like, oh, hey, I can finally play as a Turian.
Well, I've got a shipload of people that says we're here.
Of course, it's just, you're the first Ark we've seen. After a year of waiting and no sign of the others, we shuttered this area and stopped looking.
You've been stranded for a whole year?
Longer. I'll fill you in on the way to Op Center. Everything.
If you think Kandros looks a little different, that's because I did mention that I found a mod that's supposed to change the Turians. Because I remember some people complaining about how the Turians looked in this game compared to the previous one. So I think there's one of the mods I found actually is supposed to make the Turians a bit more like how they used to look in the previous games.
We arrived 14 months ago. Right away, we hit a band of dark energy that knocked us off course.
We're familiar with it.
Then you'll know why we call it the Scourge. We lost whole sections of the station. A lot of people died. No power, no food. The chaos went on for months. It finally led to armed rebellion. When order was restored, the insurgents were banished. Exiles, we call them.
Are things back to normal?
Not even close. But you're here now, so maybe the worst is over.
No word from the other Pathfinders?
No word from anyone, period.
Any threats from the locals?
So far, we've stayed hidden. We're in no shape to deal with an attack.
We had a first contact situation on Habitat 7. Whole thing went south. They tried to kill us.
That wasn't first contact. We know about them. Those aliens are going to be a real problem.
This day just keeps getting better.
We're here.
You guys go ahead. I'll check out the security situation.
You should know our command structure has been fractured. Some of us are filling in for leaders who died.
Is it true?
They said drop everything and report for duty.
And no one was expecting an Ark to finally show up.
Docking procedures are green across the board.
Stand by to merge Hyperion power into the grid.
Hi.
The crew of the Hyperion.
Good luck.
I'm Jaren Tan, director of the initiative. You have no idea how much your arrival means to us.
Oh my gosh, I hate Tan. I hate Tan so much. Now, let me just say that it's not really because of his voice actor, even though the thing is, I've seen the guy in plenty of other things. I mean, whether or not his voice matches a Solarian, that's debatable. You know, obviously he's an Indian man. That's, you know, just kind of, he can't do anything about that. That's just who he is. So I'm sure he was doing his best, because I have watched him in other things. I've seen him in other shows. I saw him in the Obi-Wan show. I thought he did a fine job. It's more so a matter of it just doesn't quite fit or match. And so why was he the one chosen compared to others, which I'm sure they either auditioned or tried to, you know, had other people audition for this, or I don't know. It just seems like an odd casting choice to have this gentleman voice Tan, a Solarian. But maybe for some reason they thought the voice matched well for what they were going for with Tan, or maybe they thought the way this guy could play this character worked well. Which, if he was trying to get Tan to be very unlikable to the point where we just couldn't stand him and hate him, I will say he did a good job as an actor, because boy do I hate Tan. But again, it's not because of the actor. It's really not. It's just Tan is a very unlikable person. And I'm very much on board with our Krogan friend over here in this room, who likes to make fun of him about where he was on the totem pole.
Not as much as it means to us. We had one hell of a time getting here. Nice to see some friendly faces.
Hungry faces. Any supplies you can spare would be appreciated.
This is Foster Addison. She oversees colonial affairs. Where's the Pathfinder?
You're looking at him.
You're not Alec Ryder.
My father's dead. He made me his successor.
Alec is dead. Please understand, the entire initiative is at risk. None of the Golden Worlds panned out. They're a bust, and there's been no word from the other arcs.
What happened to them?
Unknown. Our supplies are nearly depleted. Rationing bought us some time, but even that's running out.
We need to find more resources, but that takes people, and we can't wake them up.
Until they have somewhere to live. A golden world.
Now more than ever, we need a Pathfinder.
It now falls to you, Ryder. Are you up to the task?
You know, I'm really paying attention to their faces because, well, let's just say I was one of those people who experienced what this game was like when it first came out. Like, before the patches came out. And unfortunately, not enough patches came out. There was only, I think, 10 patches, because we got version 1.10, and that was the last official patch that we got for this game. And I remember what it was like. In fact, I can be able to go look up some VODs of when people were recording and streaming this game when it first came out, and boy, do I remember what their faces looked like back then, because boy, did it look weird and awkward. It looked very bad. Especially Addison, because, of course, she had the thing with the eyes, and then, of course, the infamous, "I'm sorry, my face is tired," where she's just looking straight at you with her eyes just bulging, just really wide and open and just bulging out. To the point where I'm sure if you've seen Angry Joe's review of this game, he had the thing where other Joe was using those fake eyes that you put on to just kind of mimic what that was supposed to look like, because, man, the faces just looked weird. And it just seemed like the facial animations just didn't work for them, or they just couldn't get to work right. I'm not really sure what exactly the problem or issue was back then that had them experience this issue when the game came out. The fact that they released this game in that condition is a big problem. It's one of the reasons why the game was mocked and panned so much when it first came out, even though it was getting decent scores like 7s, for average and such. But man, that facial animation thing was just so blown up. It was so magnified under a microscope, but it was just so easy to mock and make fun of and look at because it was just so glaring, like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with their faces? But right now, and maybe this is also because of some of the mods I found, because I did try and actually see some mods that were intended and designed to try and fix as many of the bugs in this game as they could to try and make it much more technically better than it normally is. But maybe this is also due to that patch. I don't know, because I'm really looking at and paying attention to their faces, and just in that scene alone, it just seemed as if that Scott's face and even Addison's face, with the way that they moved their eyes and their eyebrows and just trying to get the facial animations to come up to get the motions across of that moment where they're like upset and sad about Alec or surprised about his passing. It just seems to be coming across well, in my opinion. I'm sure some people will still think those look weird, but obviously it's a, personal perspective, preference kind of thing, where I may look at that and see, oh, that's not bad animations, and someone else will look at them and be like, oh, that's terrible animations. So it's going to be up to you, obviously. But I personally think it's come a long way compared to how it originally was when this first came out, because oh my gosh, was it bad back then.
I may not have been the first choice, but I'm ready for this.
Youthful enthusiasm will only get you so far in Andromeda.
That's no way to treat a guest.
I love Kesh.
I'm Nakmor Kesh, superintendent of this station. Hope they haven't scared you off already.
It's nothing personal, but now isn't the time for on-the-job training.
At least the Pathfinder here seems willing to try. We could use a fresh perspective.
You've heard my concerns. I'll leave you to it.
We're all feeling the pressure. Let's have a private word in my office, Ryder. We'll discuss giving you a scout ship. I'm happy to work out the details with your associate.
Welcome to the Nexus.
Part of my issue with Addison there is that she's talking about that in terms of her concern, but she's not voicing an alternative. There's really no other alternative here. He is the Pathfinder now, and so we have to live with this. So complaining about it and voicing your concerns is fine as long as you want to put forward an alternative, like another option. But if there literally is no other option here, or, you don't have one that's good enough to be an actual alternative or option, then all you're just doing is just being a nuisance at that point. My opinion.
Thank you for standing up for me there.
Hope's in short supply here. What little we can find should have a chance.
Ma'am, the Hyperion's core is now online.
Let me show you something. An hour ago, that was all dark. But with the power from your ship, you're keeping the lights on. You have my vote.
And when the power runs out?
You'd best go talk to Director Tan. Make sure that doesn't happen. And don't be shy. Come see me when you have a chance.
And we will.
Where's Vetrat? The Hyperion is starting to send a tally of supplies. And for something big, is she?
Now, for the first time, you can actually finally save your game. Gosh. I was really irritated by the fact that it took us that long to be able to finally actually make a save. So now let's go ahead and talk with Addison and take a look at that rather infamous scene. where she says how tired her face is. But as I want to go ahead and point out, just like I did the first time I did a playthrough of this, or tried to do a playthrough of this, just pay attention to how she does it now compared to how she used to do it back then.
All right, what happened?
To who?
To whom? And your goddamn father. Sorry, my face is tired from dealing with everything. And right now, I just want to know what happened with Alec.
I mean, I'm still impressed that they went back in a patch and made such a change to that, because it was obviously blown up so badly, they probably felt like they had no choice but to address that and fix it. But to actually have her, I think what it wasn't just the change with the eyes, it was the fact that they had the hand come up and, do the thing where you have your fingers rub your eyes because of how tired they are, and just kind of drag it down her face. I thought that was impressive that they made that dramatic of a change compared to what they just could have done. Because I've seen it where they just do kind of a little minor change and that's it. Here, I thought they went a little bit of the extra mile to fix that. And kudos to them for doing that.
In the moment, it saved my life. But it seems my father meant for me to get the role eventually.
It isn't hereditary. If we wanted an inbred monarchy, we could have left half our gene stock back home. Not home. The Milky Way. This is home. This mess. We don't have a lot of options, Ryder. Maybe you'll prove your father right. After 14 months of failed colonization, forgive me if I don't hold my breath.
There must be some kind of plan for encountering hostile aliens. We can't have been that naive.
We expected life, not an enemy that refuses to talk. They don't attack, they disinfect. We're nothing until we're bacteria. Sorry, 14 months and you stoop to poetry. That's how bad it is. Not sure who started it, but we're calling them Ket. Kandros will know more. Maybe too much.
You don't trust him?
I trust him to defend us. I do not trust a rising military influence in a supposedly civilian initiative. We came here to make history, Ryder, not repeat it. Ugh, goddamn poetry.
How do you fit into the Nexus leadership?
I oversee the actual settlement effort. As the number of outposts is currently less than ideal, my influence is limited. As Tan is quick to remind me. Left a perfectly adequate career as a chief officer. Provincial capital, too. Only a new galaxy could pull me away. And here we are, idling.
You called my father Alec. No one does that.
A lot of us joined the initiative because of his vision. What he shared of it, anyway.
Were you friends? Or...
I'm not your new mother, if that's what you're asking. Or his friend. He hated that I didn't use his title. But no one's a pathfinder until they've path-found something. Much like a colonial director without colonies.
You've had no colony successes in over a year. How many tries is that?
Less than you'd think. The Scourge, spoiled worlds, exiles, hostiles. We can't just plop down an outpost and expect picket fences. We need the Pathfinder and Sam to scout, evaluate, and inspire. The initiative promised a goal. Andromeda has not cooperated.
And if it had?
Beautiful utopian horseshit. Colonies that produce and support each other. The Nexus as Citadel. Not headed by Tan. Or even me.
There's also the strange technology. Has anyone studied that?
We've tried. Not me. The brains in research. They're supposed to know their business. The current excuse? The tech we dug up on Mars was more advanced, but it was plug and go. The tech here thinks different? I don't know. We've mostly avoided it. And from what the Hyperion logs say about Alec, maybe that's good.
Excuse me, Director Addison.
Ryder?
It's Pathfinder.
Ryder, we're starving here. If we don't get a foundation of outposts to feed the initiative, we might as well be 600 years dead. Alec promised a lot. None of it panned out. That's what you're up against. Why people won't trust you. Why I don't trust you. Prove me wrong.
Yep. That's Foster Addison. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it off here, and because I need to disable that mod that fixes the issue with the Korra's ponytail, because it's only meant for that one little scene where we're transitioning from the main area to this room, and then we're supposed to remove it, because then it causes some other issues. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. When we return, we'll continue going around and talking to people here in the Nexus.